Hey guys, hope you liked the new intro. If not, well, I can change it back if you guys really don't like that new intro. But before I get into the review, I kind of wanted to talk about what I've been getting up to recently. So my job trainings went well. Admittedly, I started them a week later than I thought I was going to, but they went well. I got myself an internship. I'm not going to say where, just it's like at a thrift store. It's like a locally owned one. Going to be starting that on the 24th, so I might not be able to make videos as much. I do have a couple of days off each week, so I might be able to still make videos semi-regularly, but this might be the last dyno review you guys see for a little bit, because I'm going to try to conserve the rest of the cash I still have, mainly because I've made a couple of bad purchases. Defenders of the Court didn't work both times I bought it, but whatever. Today's subject of review is the Battat Terra Dacentrurus. Yeah, Dacentrurus, kind of an unusual genus. I was going to say, before I started this review, that this, I think, is the only model of this genus out there, but I do think Collecta also has one. So, not the only model, but Collecta's isn't available in the stores I shop at. This guy, I remember a couple years back, was everywhere at Target stores, but I never bought him. And when I finally did go back and say I want to buy this guy, he was nowhere to be found. I could never find him until recently when I managed to find him again and I managed to buy him. And I wasn't willing to spend the twice as much it cost on Amazon. So we got this guy. Now, this guy is one of the 4 models from the Battat Terra series that is new, completely new, in the dinosaur lineup that was actually released. The others were the Nunchiongosaurus, which I've also reviewed, the Cryolophosaurus, and the Pachyrhinosaurus. There were a couple other new models that were planned, but none of them ever got released, which was a shame because some of them looked actually really cool. So sadly, this guy was one of the 4 that managed to get a snake out of release before Battat started selling those weird rip-off Jurassic World figures. I have no idea what they were thinking, but let's take a look at this guy. Now, this guy is actually pretty nice looking. He's a pretty nice looking little stegosaur. Dacentrurus isn't a very commonly seen stegosaur, and it generally tends to be kind of ignored in popular culture, even though it was one of the first that was found, I think. I believe for a time it was called Omosaurus, but then that name turned out to have been taken, so it was changed to Dacentrurus, which if I can remember correctly, I think that just means lots of spikes or something akin to that. But yeah, so obscure stegosaur. The most notable place I can think of a Dacentrurus appearing is the Dinosaur King DS game, where where it's a dinosaur available very early on, so a lot of people probably used one. So it's pretty cool. I like this little guy, nice little model. Nice little spikes on the side. I don't actually have many stegosaur models, so this guy's gonna be a nice little addition to the collection. The colors on him are pretty nice. They are a little bit unoriginal, just dark green, light green, mint green for the plates. That's a little bit unusual. Orange eyes, and a brown little beak and feet. I'm not sure entirely if the feet are done correctly, if they've given it the right number of toes. I think they've given it the right number of toes, but I don't know if they've given it the right number of claws. I don't know if some of the feet might have been clawless. It's got a shoulder spike. It has, like a lot of earlier stegosaurs, has like these plates that sort of descend into spikes along the tail. But unfortunately, there's one big flaw with this guy, and it's actually a flaw a lot of Battat Terra figures suffer from. The paint is not applied very well. You can see a lot of little miscellaneous green splotches that are probably just from the plates, and the black parts on the plates, there are these little black tips to them, are a little bit sloppily painted, but I'm not entirely sure if Battat's figures are hand or machine painted. Just because of the way these look, I'm going to guess they're hand painted, just because then the errors are a little more excusable, because you have to paint it with your hand, and it's not a machine painting it, but that doesn't really detract from the overall quality of the figure, and if you are talented enough to paint this figure yourself, which I'm not going to be, but if you are, you could just paint over those, make it look better. So, yeah, I actually really like this little guy. He might not be for everyone, just because it's an obscure stegosaur genus, and it's also a Battat Terra model, and it's also not that easy to find nowadays. I don't know if this one's still in production or not, but it's just hard to find nowadays. But if you do come across this guy for a decent price, go ahead and get it.